Chipotle's mission is food with integrity. What is food with integrity? Food with integrity is their commitment to finding the very best ingredients raised by respect for the animals and the environment and the farmers. Chipotle has many strategic objectives. One is to create comprehensive online calorie counting tools to help customers count calories. Another is to introduce a simple dessert menu so it can improve sales. Also, one is to promote and boost digital ordering capabilities via mobile and app. Chipotle's corporate strategy is that the company's success in recent years has been linked to the achievements of its differentiated strategy, unique brand, and food philosophy. The company incorporates a premium service across establishment, ensures that they employ top-performing employees. Chipotle also uses production line within their restaurants, allowing to be speedy service even during peak hours. Chipotle has policies for diversity, ethical standards, suppliers, and HR. Chipotle believes that the value of a diverse workforce, equal opportunity, and a workplace free of discrimination and all forms of unlawful harassment. They also believe that Chipotle is a company based on integrity. Integrity is about being real and being honest. With suppliers, they want you to treat your suppliers and vendors honestly and fairly. Chipotle also believes in the value of a diverse workforce and prohibits unlawful discrimination, harassment, and sexual harassment. Employees who violate this policy may be disciplined and up to including termination. Chipotle's senior level executives and management team. Chipotle has a board of directors and a management team that both have vital responsibilities and roles for the company. Chipotle's corporate governance/responsibilities. The board of directors, elected by shareholders, is the ultimate decision-making body of the company, except with respect matters reserved to shareholders. The board selects the chief executive officer, who is charged with overall responsibility for managing the company's business. The primary functions of the board is oversight, evaluating the performance of the company and its senior management, reviewing the company's strategic plans and objectives, including the principal risk exposures of the company. They also providing advice and counsel to the chief executive officer and other senior management of the company. Chipotle's board committees. There are currently 3 standing committees of the board: audit, compensation, and nominating and corporate governance. The compensation committee is charged with the responsibility of reviewing the compensation of the board and recommending changes thereto the full board from time to time. The form and amount of director compensation and prerequisites will be determined by the compensation committee.
Chipotle's organizational structure type would be classified as functional because each functional unit is supervised by a chief officer or manager who reports to the chief executive officer and the board of directors. Chipotle has created an organizational structure that incentivizes hard work and deters weaknesses. Chipotle feels that if they invest in their employees from the start, the employees will be able to grow with the company. Chipotle searches for top-performing employees that show the quality of a person that will keep being promoted within the company. When Chipotle opens a new restaurant, it is normally staffed with management through the promotion of existing employees that already possess the necessary knowledge and skills to get the restaurant up and running. The main advantage of a functional structure is that it creates increased task specialization due to the independent focus that each manager can place on their unit. Task specialization promotes learning, enables the realization of scale economy, and can offer advantages in productivity that may not be available. The primary disadvantage of a functional structure is that the departmental division develop boundaries that stifle the flow of information and can also limit coordination and cooperation across functions. The chart in this slide shows a 3-year comparison of Chipotle's profitability ratios. It is clearly shown in the chart that Chipotle has been seeing substantial decreases in their profitability ratios, showing the company is struggling. The company's net margin alone has decreased approximately 94.5% from 2014 to 2016. Liquidity ratios measure a company's margin of safety as well as the ability to pay their debt obligations. Chipotle is also showing drastic signs of struggling in these areas based on the 3-year comparison of the company's liquidity ratios. Chipotle's current ratio decreased from 3.5 in 2014 to 1.85 in 2016, an overall decrease of approximately 41%. Working capital also decreased even more significantly, showing an overall decrease of around 61%. Going into 2016, Chipotle owned and operated 1,971 restaurants. Taco Bell was the leading competitor, operating 6,400 restaurants. Management was expecting to open between 220 and 235 restaurants in 2016. Chipotle reached their goal because as of December 31st, 2016, Chipotle was operating 2,198 restaurants throughout the United States plus an additional 29 international locations. Approximately 2 years ago, Chipotle faced a much publicized E. coli outbreak in the food products they were serving. According to Money.com, the outbreak caused Chipotle's stock to dramatically drop nearly 60%, and the company is still struggling to regain momentum today. Consumers were asked, why are you eating less at Chipotle? Of the consumers polled, 42% responded because they are scared about food safety. In 2015, Chipotle's stock's highest traded price was $757.77 on August 5, 2015. 2 years after the outbreak, and another outbreak occurring this year, the stock's price was sitting at a low of $279.51 on November 21, 2017. According to Yahoo Finance, Chipotle's 52-week stock price change is showing a decrease of 30.23%. A SWOT analysis conducted on Chipotle revealed the following. Beginning with the internal factors of strength, food with integrity. Chipotle focuses on serving high-quality foods that are ethically, organically, and locally produced. They are also a strong supporter in the initiative to help small farmers access the necessary resources needed to implement food safety standards. Chipotle goes beyond just ensuring that they are purchasing and selling fresh ingredients. They will even spend time on their product suppliers' farms to have an understanding of where the food is coming from and how it was raised. Next, order customization. Although Chipotle appears to have limited menu options, they feel they are giving consumers the ability to construct a customized variety of meals that will appeal to their dietary needs and tastes. Chipotle refers to this as a few things, thousands of ways. Close relationships with suppliers. Chipotle carefully selects their suppliers based on the quality of the products as well as their understanding of the company's mission. Chipotle develops long-term, mutually beneficial relationships with their suppliers. When necessary, Chipotle will increase the number of suppliers they use in order to offset supply shortages and price volatility. Last, a culture of top performers. Chipotle seeks to hire the best people possible and places an emphasis on empowering top-performing employees. In order to provide excellent customer service, Chipotle provides hands-on training for their employees in order to develop their full potential. As a result of Chipotle's investments in developing their employees, approximately 84% of salaried management and around 97% of hourly management positions have come from internal promotions. Listed in this slide are some of Chipotle's major weaknesses, beginning with limited menu options. Chipotle's food menu only consists of 4 different options: burrito bowls, burritos, tacos, and salads. Next, they charge a higher price than competitors. This is due to Chipotle's cost of the high standards they place on the quality food products that they serve to be organically and ethically raised on a farm, thus leading them to charge a higher price than their competitors. Another is limited advertising and marketing. Although Chipotle feels that a great dining experience at one of their restaurants is their most powerful marketing tool, the company needs to invest in more advertising and marketing capabilities. Placing advertisements of your brand in front of consumers will remind them of the benefit and want to eat at one of your restaurants. Last, challenges attracting and retaining employees. Being that labor is a large primary operating cost, a tightening labor market and the demand for the increase in minimum wage and health care benefits are causing increases in Chipotle's costs and reducing their profits. Some opportunities for Chipotle are as follows. Technological advances. On November 6, 2017, Chipotle announced their new mobile app, which includes quick order, easier customization of meals, and Apple and Android Pay. And recently, Facebook partnered with Chipotle for the launch of a service through which Facebook users can order food for takeaway or delivery directly through its app or website. By giving consumers another way to order food from Chipotle while using their social media account will give the restaurant an opportunity to increase sales. Evolving customer service. In July 2017, Chipotle announced that they would be testing a drive-thru window in the fall. This will give consumers an opportunity to place an order without leaving their car when they are in a hurry or do not want to get out of their vehicle in bad weather. Also, international expansion. Outside of the few restaurants that Chipotle operates internationally, the company has a vast opportunity to expand upon emerging international markets. Many international markets, especially Asia, offer very few casual Mexican dining options. And last, growing health trends. Chipotle maintains healthy menu choices, which allows consumers to be health conscious and responsible when ordering at one of their restaurants. Consumers have been placing more of an emphasis on eating not only healthy food, but also organically grown and farm-free raised meats. And lastly, the threats that Chipotle faces. Rising food prices. Avocados account for 10% of Chipotle's total costs, and the prices of avocados have drastically increased by 75% since mid-July. This is due to supply shortages. The increase in these prices will cause Chipotle's total costs to increase and therefore decrease their profit. Bacteria and viruses. In 2015, a norovirus breakout was reported by 120 Boston College students, as well as 52 people getting ill from E. coli that had eaten at a Chipotle restaurant. In July 2017, the restaurant chain received another report of food poisoning in Virginia. This has led to weakening sales and customer loyalty, and a tremendous decrease in stock price that are still being affected 2 years after the first reported incident. Numerous competitors. The casual quick service dining market has always been a highly competitive area. Many of Chipotle's competitors have been in business longer and have a more extensive market reach than Chipotle. Some competitors also offer healthy menu options, and others focus on the competitive feature of low-cost meal options. Changes in consumer taste. Consumers' ever-changing tastes can cause a stifle in the want to consume Mexican food. Chipotle is even more at risk in this area with the few menu options they offer. Chipotle's risk factors that are stated in its fiscal year ended December 31st, 2016 annual 10K report are classified into 5 major categories. These categories include 1. Risks related to our plans to return sales and profitability growth and restore our economic model. 2. Risks related to operating in the restaurant industry. 3. Risks related to our unique business strategy. 4. Regulatory and legal risks. And 5. General business risks. In the short term, Chipotle needs to be placing a major emphasis on rebuilding their brand name and customer loyalty. Chipotle is still struggling to repair the damages caused by the effects of the reported E. coli outbreaks in 2015. Continued reports of food scares from Chipotle restaurants will continue to negatively affect the company. Today, consumers are still unsure of the food safety at Chipotle's restaurants. Chipotle needs to find ways to show customers the benefits of paying its prices for higher quality food, as opposed to the quality of food that is offered by its competitors. Chipotle's sales and profitability have been low in recent years. In order to increase sales and profitability, Chipotle is planning to continue to significantly increase the number of restaurants it opens each year. Chipotle could be adversely affected by this if they cannot locate adequate location sites in markets they find attractive. Once these restaurants are operating, they could still have a negative impact on Chipotle if they are not profitable. When Chipotle opens a new restaurant, it experiences sales and income levels that fall below expectations for a period that usually lasts 24 months or more due to the building of a customer base. The biggest challenge Chipotle will face in opening these new restaurants is the ability to find and retain top performing employees. Another short-term risk that Chipotle faces is changes in food and supply costs. Increases in food costs are a factor that is beyond Chipotle's control because they are usually due to changes in the economy, seasonality, weather, global demand, etc. The recent spike in the price of avocados, which accounts for a decent portion of Chipotle's costs, has had a negative impact on the company. The company has also faced an increase in its costs due to the recent required enhancements made to its food safety procedures. In the long term, Chipotle will need to continue to effectively manage its restaurant's growth in order to ensure future growth of the company. As previously stated, Chipotle plans to significantly increase the number of restaurants that it operates, but it may not have sufficient support for the planned expansion in its existing systems, procedures, and controls. Chipotle also runs the risk of not responding quickly enough to changing demands, which could lead to increased costs or inefficiencies. Chipotle feels that its food with integrity philosophy also puts the company at risk, even though it signifies a part of the company's business strategy. Chipotle places a strong emphasis on the meats it is purchasing to come from animals that were raised without antibiotics and growth hormones, as well as produce that is organically grown. These high standards lead to higher costs. This also leads to time-consuming efforts to find and establish relationships with suppliers. The process continues to follow up to identify that the suppliers continue to abide by Chipotle's high standards. In 2015, Chipotle cut ties with one of its pork suppliers due to them not meeting the standards. Chipotle did this even with the risk of not serving pork at a large number of its restaurants for several months. Changes in governmental regulations and laws could also adversely affect Chipotle through increased costs in order to comply with these changes. A large amount of Chipotle's produce and some of its meats and restaurant supplies are sourced from outside the United States. Therefore, any new or increases on import taxes, tariffs, or duties can result in higher food and supply costs. Also, Chipotle could face a loss of sales due to new entrants in the markets, as well as increased competition from its current rivals. Chipotle is part of the fast casual, quick service, and dining area of the industry. This type of restaurant industry is highly competitive. Many of Chipotle's competitors offer the same dining experience as Chipotle. Some competitors are beginning to enter the segment of offering healthy menu options, which cuts into Chipotle's segment. Other competitors focus on lowering pricing options in order to attract consumers. Chipotle focuses on differentiating itself from competitors through the high quality of its food, the food it serves.
Two different strategy approaches can be used as alternatives to Chipotle's current strategy. So firstly, in the strategy, it is important to encourage new and old customers to continue buying from Chipotle and educating customers on the company's new food, preparation, and policies. Adhering to current trends, other restaurants have started using membership reward programs to attract new customers and to keep customers returning to their business. And Chipotle should also implement a similar reward system. In the second strategy, it's important to implement a backward vertical integration strategy, which would allow Chipotle to become their own food supplier at all locations. This strategy would allow Chipotle to have control over their ingredients at every stage of the process. In regards to decision and recommendations, for corporate and business, in regards to the strategy making hierarchy, Chipotle is classified as single business company, meaning the company is operated by its CEO and other top executives. This classification means that at the top two levels, corporate and business of the hierarchy, merge into one level, the business strategy level. Chipotle can achieve this by focusing on their product creation strategy of the market niche of customers that want to eat healthy, high-quality food and are willing to pay the prices Chipotle is charging. This level will also be in charge of creating the strategy process for implementing a customer reward program that consumers find attractive. They will also need to find unique ways of establishing a strong relationship with suppliers. The functional level areas that Chipotle needs to focus on are sales, marketing, and customer service. Managers will need to oversee the employees are adhering to new strategy involving the customer reward programming and give the best customer service possible. Marketing managers should focus their effort to find standout ways to spreading the word about Chipotle's new reward program. This can be accomplished through in-store advertisements, commercials, billboards, social media, etc. With the implementation of this strategy, we would have to set up free membership programs that give members rewards for signing up and continuing to make purchases at Chipotle. These rewards would include special discounts, coupons, holiday specials, and that we would offer to show appreciation to loyal customers. Also, we would incorporate a bring a friend rewards aspect to the program. In order for the strategy to be implemented and executed successfully, it must involve all organizational levels of Chipotle's management team. Each organizational manager is the expert of the area and can add different value to the implementation process. Employees will need to appropriately be trained so they have the understanding of their role for the strategy. To achieve organizational-wide commitment, Chipotle's CEO, chief officer, and managers will need to communicate to employees the benefits of supporting and achieving the goals of the new strategy.